Chapter 1. Hakun. Life and death, death and strife, strife and anguish, anguish and despair, despair and hope of love, for love doth beckon, that life may come again. The thoughts of someone unknowable course through his innermost mind, imparting their knowledge to him. The song is solemn and resonating with sorrow, yet laced with hope. He cannot see who it is. It is a fractured message. No sights, only words. No understanding, only intent. No meaning, only wishes. Even so, the final word shines beautifully like none of the rest, a word that instills him with adoration and love. Mother. He reaches out from his slumber, and his claws meet resistance. He does not understand exactly why, but he knows it is meant to keep him back. But he will not be confined anymore. His caretaker, his mother, wants him to come out, pushing against the barrier between him and the shallow blue. Barely awake, he still comprehends his being, his surroundings, and the outside of this barrier. Cutting up the shell, he pushes through the mud before him. His eyes are forced shut by the mire, thus causing him to have difficulty in his pursuit of freedom. Untested muscles and limbs, which only so barely answer to his wishes, the hatchling digs and pushes his way forward. As he reaches out with his claws to push more muck away, he feels how it swiftly gives way. With a few kicks with his tails, he breaches the final barriers and finds his freedom. With this thrill of liberty, he feels something resonate deep in his being. Words, just a few, but eternally significant. Hakun, lead them. The waters that surround him are intoxicating. So many things to be discovered. Stretching his limbs and flitting around in this little burrow, the young Yuunagi's eyes work feverishly to take in every sight and influx of information. His frame is lithe and light. Inspecting himself, his heart flutters with excitement at getting to know himself. 3 agile tails that end in flippers with colorful extensions, like a mane of rainbows. Slender and strong, each motion of his limbs pushes him in a direction he is not intent on going. He does not yet know how to remain still. His 4 forelimbs are so distinctly different from each other. One pair carries claws, and the other is seated right above the clawed arms, similar to flippers. He quickly figures out how to use them to the best effect. Lilac in coloration with a wider variety of shades and colors for his tendrils, Hakun grows ever more excitable about what else the world is hiding from him. Darting forward, he clumsily flicks his tails in an awkward display of movement. He crashes into the walls 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times until he catches on to the tricks that will keep him from bludgeoning himself to death. Gliding through the waters with increasing grace, the child uses his clawless limbs to change the course of his movements. He grows increasingly adept with his technique. When he feels content with his efforts, he begins to feel a faint grumble in his gut. His strength wanes, and his focus dwindles. Instinct drives him to seek sustenance. In this soft gleam, there isn't much to be found. Then, like a wish granted, more light begins to pour into this little cavern, illuminating the surroundings by steady increments and revealing what he seeks. Slug-like creatures crawl around in the area, creating a broad palette of colors despite the faint light that pours in from the small hole in this carved-out cavern in the mound. bright in colour, slow on the move. They seem so harmless, appetizing. Hakun stalks one of them as it crawls away, changing its colours to warn and confuse him. It does not work. Even while adjusting to his being, his blood is that of hunters at the height of all. A change of colours does very little to change his course. His tails curl in preparation to dart for the mark. Yet, at this moment, the time for his first hunt, he feels uneasiness wash over him. A sensation as foreign as any other that he is experiencing. But, unlike them, this feeling fills him with nothing. Hakun's excitement and joy are ripped out of him, and the absence leaves him with a hollow void, bereft of everything he hoped to see. His young heart contorts at the sight. He feels a pulsating pressure behind his eyes and a pain that spreads through his forehead, like 1,000 fangs dragging and pushing against the inside of his skull. His being tells him something that ought to be clear as day, but he denies it. It can't. It cannot be. Hakun looks at the giant before him, unmoving and slug-eaten, its former white, gleaming scales matted with decay and mud. He sees all that remains of the being who was once the one who is his mother. "Mom?" he trills weakly, as his soul weeps for a figure he has never seen before this point. He sends jolts of electricity in an attempt to communicate. The first wave is feeble, unable to reach the body. Swimming closer, he tries again. Another jolt with the hopes that this will wake her up again. Nothing. "Mom, wake up!" Flitting his fins, he moves up and touches her face with the tip of his snout. Pushing against her, the futility of his actions is clear. There is no time to be young now. Try as he may to understand why she will not respond to him, Hakun begins to reflect on the imprinted knowledge and memories his mother had aimed to bestow to him. There was little, just the faintest sliver or meaning. Death. To no longer be here. To sleep and never wake up. To breathe out, but never take in again. The reasons why it happens, what can be done about it, or what to do next are escaping him. He wishes that it is not, but there is no denying it. Faint as the imprinted memories may have been, he can still feel the lingering fragments of her being within this hollow. Her strength, her determination, but, above all, the love she held for him and his clutchkin. It gives him temporary flickers of hope. If there is something to feel, then surely she must still be here. Channeling all the strength he has, Hakun sends one final jolt with as clear a message as he can provide. "Please, wake up!" Letting the current fall, the young Yuunagi observes and anticipates her rise and affection. Yet, there is nothing. Just memories of what she once felt for them. Thoughts of what she would have done if she could have just lived until now. All of these thoughts and wants are imprinted into his mind, none of which are here now. There is no waking up. His hopes to meet her have been stomped out. There is no time for safety. Her absence leaves a vacuum that he needs to fill quickly. The long since passing of his mother fills him with sadness and fear. What could have done this to such a kind figure? The question only instills more sadness. It does not matter now. Nuzzling up to her face, he tries to find comfort next to this hollow. His soul hopes for her to come back. His heart already knows the truth, and it is suffocating his joy. "Why did you have to die, Mom?" The feeling swells until it becomes unbearable. He does not want to think about it anymore. Not a single imaginable answer will ease his burden. What this is supposed to mean now is lost to him. He just knows that he will never get to swim with her, to sing for her, or hunt with her. He looks away as if removing her from sight will somehow ease him. He thinks of a way to move forward. What will he do? What can he do? When he sees a slug about to crawl into her empty eye socket, he swiftly swats it away before biting down on its soft body, its viscous layer of mucus allowing the large chunks to slink down his throat with ease. It feels good to eat. The grumbling in his body ends and leaves a surge of motivation and strength within him. His mom is dead, but her wants and hopes for him remain, and he will not disappoint. That reflection makes him realize what he needs to do and what remains to be accomplished. And yet, he feels the urge to stay by her side. The soft trills of his thrum bounce around the small cave she had carved for him and the other unhatched family members. Steadying his heart, he sets himself to the work in front of him, searching for the eggs of his remaining family. The efforts tax his body's young and untested muscles that have only twitched in the egg until recently. The strain is almost too much. But he has a mission. He does not understand it. He simply feels it. It is a drive to make his mother proud of him, as if she were still here to see him. Shuffling the mud away from his clutchkin, he sees 6 eggs, healthy and brimming with life, that are waiting for the signal to leave. Alas, he also beholds a single bad one, a shriveled and rotten egg that had not received the warmth and security needed. A soft trill of sadness resonates from him. So much loss, all too soon. The sensation of drowning into nothingness once more festers. Flitting forward, he gently picks it up and carries it away. Dead or not, these were his family. They deserve some respect and care, even now. Lying it down at the cavern's far end, he covers it in mud. It's better that way. His family does not need to suffer as he does. All the while, he lets out a rumbling from the depths of his throat. His thrum pleads for something to save them. Swimming back, his heart strengthens and his spirit emboldens with determination. There can be no room for doubt. Looming over them, he closes his eyes, gathering his strength. There is a tension in the water now, a rippling power. The muddy walls shift while the currents of electricity gather around Hakoon. Wake up! Save for the vibrations in the water and the fearful flight of the slugs, there is nothing that changes. The currents grow stronger, sending slight shocks against a nearby bottom feeder, killing it before it can flee. Wake up! Hakoon pleads once more. Now there is a desired outcome. The eggs rattle and shift feebly, more like spasms than intentional movements. But even so, these motions settle and cease. Hakoon rouses all the strength he can muster. He will not allow them to stay like this. They will not end up like the other one. Brothers, sisters, I am Hakoon, your leader and eldest. And I say it is time to wake up! Hakoon feels his energy slip from him as he tries to push this message through. Despite the painful challenge, he doesn't stop, forcing his words through with a determination that shortly after leaves him lightheaded. He nearly faints from the strain. His head is slow and his heart races with fervor. He will see this through to the end. There is no other way. The eggs twitch and rattle against each other as cracks begin to form. They are ready to meet the world. The first egg to break open does not reveal a single hatchling, but 3. Their eyes are cloudy, but quickly brighten into vibrant hues of blue, pink, and yellow. With 6 eyes each, they look wildly around, thrilled to be alive and explore. Their physique is slimmer than his own, more agile. They sweep with their tails, causing their bodies to twist and contort in ways that probably do not feel right. Hakoon swims up and guides them through a few basics to help them find their rhythm. Egg after egg hatches. The hatchlings never come alone, always in pairs or groups of 3. It makes Hakoon reflect on why he doesn't have an eggmate of his own. Ignoring the thought for now, he proceeds with teaching all of them how to swim. They take to it quickly, even as their bodies differ from one another quite distinctly at times. But they manage. They learn from each other, and they are quick on the uptake. Ones with bulk and flatter expressions. There are those with the brightest of scales, the faintest light catching in their radiance, and others seem so foreign to the rest that one hesitates for a time to consider them the same. But familial love is there for all. Even when absent so many similarities, they are aware of the whole truth, that they are kindred spirits. They are a gathering of foreigners, and yet they are the same, a family. Together, they hunt and they learn. Together, they talk and sing for each other and learn each other's names. And soon after, they learn the hard lessons that Hakoon has already suffered through. All of them gather with him, taking in the sight.
Hakoon,
trills the careful Thrum of the oldest of his basts. She had been the first to leave the first hatched egg. Her slender form of pale pink coloration keeps a respectful distance. Her 6 blue eyes scan the hollow, then look at Hakoon once more. Without turning, he responds softly to her, even as the ache in his forehead begins anew.
Yes, Shira. This was Mother then? Wrong. This is our mother. Even away from us, she should still be called what she is.
He scolds with more bite than he meant to.
I'm sorry,
she replies with a tremble in her Thrum.
No, I'm sorry.
Hakoon trills with an ache as he turns around to face the school under his charge. His family looks to him, and they await to hear what comes next.
This is not the start we wanted. I know that when I woke up, I was excited and eager too. Soon, that became confusion, then sadness. We all share that pain now, I believe.
The school shoof their colors in silent agreement.
But we need to be brave now. Our mom has given us everything we need. Safety, togetherness, and in her sacrifice for us, we have our food until we are ready.
He trills as he looks to the slugs crawling through the cave and over the surface of their mother. She was their meal, and they, in turn, would sustain his family. It feels wrong in a way, but that is the life they have been given, and so they must now make the most of it.
Ready? For what?
Asks a particularly bulbous and robust member of the school. Hakoon had yet to learn his name.
We need to grow, become bigger, stronger and wiser. To what end?
Asks Shira.
To leave. Once we are big enough to exit this burrow and explore the shallow blue outside, we will begin our journey to our real home. The great blue, our mother's home, waits for us to come to. Won't that be dangerous?
Inquires one of Shira's masts. Though they were all a family, not all were born from the same egg. Seems like he, too, received a flicker of memory from their mother's journey here.
That is why we must grow first. Mom did not want any of us to be heard. If someone as big as her could be heard, then we can too. I do not want that to happen. I will not allow that to happen."
He took a deep breath, letting the waters flow through his gills, his anxiety flowing away with it.
"Mother wanted me to lead. I do not know what that truly means yet, but I know that I do not want to lead unless you want me to. So, tell me, will you accept me as your hogger? Will you follow me? If not, who would you want to lead you?"
It was followed by a few moments of silence before Shira trilled in reply.
"Hakoon! Hakoon!"
boomed the thrums of his family in unison. Relief is too small a word to express how liberating it feels to hear his school proclaim him as their leader. It feels to him as if his mom is happy with his outcome, that she's proud of him for it.
"Thank you. Now then, my family, it starts now."